At the time of his retirement in 1973, superstar quarterback Johnny Unitas of the Baltimore Colts held virtually every career passing record that existed in the National Football League.
He threw a touchdown pass in 47 straight games, a string that remained unchallenged for a half a century until Drew Brees and then Tom Brady broke it.
The football legend also had incredible civic pride and significantly impacted area communities through his generous philanthropic contributions. That's where the book The Golden Arm Gentleman picks up the story, and we are honored to have the author back on the show today. This is D.P. Smith III of Salisbury. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you guys for having me.
The Golden Arm Gentleman, this is actually your third book, but it's your first non-fiction, or your first nonfiction book.
First nonfiction book.
So what inspired you to write about Johnny Unitas?
Well, the book is about a generation of us that grew up during that incredible era of football and also Baltimore sports in the late 60s and 70s. And there's been a lot of books written about Unitas, all of his accolades on the field, but nothing really written about the man and his family, what all the great things they did for the city. I started digging a little bit, and I just started finding all this stuff, and I said I really wanted to get the word out about that and also tie it in with the generation of us who grew up in a time where we weren't in our basements playing Madden on the screen. We were actually out doing it. You know, we're throwing the football around, but it was a labor of love for me to write this book.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, when you say you were digging, where do you look for this information?
Well, a good friend of mine actually in Baltimore, his name is John Zeman, and he's a very central character in this book. Zeman, who I call him, is the president of the Baltimore Ravens marching band.
Oh.
So, but back in the day, he was a drum major with the Baltimore Colts band, and then he did a lot of things, and he is a central figure in the book. And I had a chance, my wife and I had a chance to have dinner with he and his wife in Baltimore. And this guy and I just hit it off, and he just said, well, did you know about this? And did you know about that? So I got started with that, to your question. And it just, the more and more I discovered in doing my due diligence for the book, I was just floored, because the whole thing is, this guy was a humble human being. He didn't want people to know about what he did. He was the guy behind the scenes. He would write a check or show up with footballs and things like that. But he didn't want the credit, and that's how he played his game on the field. He goes and throws 3 touchdown passes against the New York Giants in the '58 game, the World Championship game. He's there telling Chuck Thompson, the legendary broadcaster of the Colts, if I don't have the block from this guy, if this guy's not running the pattern, you know, he never takes credit for it. It's always giving credit. And that's admirable.
It is. Yeah. Now, in addition to who you interviewed, this book has reflections from Brooks Robinson, Barry Levinson, Kevin Byrne, Jerry Sandusky. The list goes on and on.
We talked to 70 some different people. There are a lot of people that are not in the book. I just chose not to put them in there. But my most incredible thing, I'll share this with you. One night, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and I pick it up, and I said, hello, and this guy goes, hello, David, this is Brooks Robinson. Wow. So he had gotten up with me, and that was another one of my childhood idols. On the back of the book, you'll read on the inside flap that my dog is named after Brooks Robinson. So I told Brooks that, and he says, David, he says, I've had a lot of pets named after me. He said dogs, alligators, chimpanzees. But that was the pleasure of this book. Talking to Barry Levinson, the director, I probably talked for 3 hours with him about his reflections growing up in Baltimore, and his 4 Baltimore-based films that he basically wrote, all are flavored with the Baltimore Colts. And this guy, Levinson, he just amazed me with his ability of knowledge of the Colts, the Orioles, and things like that. Growing up in a different era, different time.
The name of the book, The Golden Arm Gentleman. The author is D.P. Smith III of Salisbury. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll have information on our website so you can get a hold of the book.
I just wanted to say, at Barnes & Noble in Salisbury, it can be gotten now. And if they don't have it in stock, they'll order it, and it's free shipping. So
Awesome.
Okay.
There you go. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.